children! Tonight is the night to put on your masks and play a trick or two on people, and maybe even get a treat. But while you are sitting in your comfortable homes and snacking down on a sweet, take a bite into something really fun. Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. For over a decade, the movie Freddy vs. Jason was stuck in development hell until it was finally released in 2003. The movie is glorious, a spectacular brawl between two slasher killers from their own film series, Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street series, and Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th series. They battled several times in the movie while a group of teenagers desperately tried to survive the war. Who was victorious? Well, that's up to your own interpretation. But almost immediately after the success of the movie, there was discussion and negotiation for a sequel called Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, adding in the hero Ash Williams from the Evil Dead series into the mix. It progressed to the point where a screenplay was written, but unfortunately the project fell through. Not wanting to waste the script, however, it was adapted into a 6-issue miniseries, the one we are looking at today, my children. It takes place a few years after the events of the movie. The last two survivors, Laurie and Will, return to Crystal Lake to try to put some emotional closure on what happened. Until Jason comes by and puts some permanent closure on them. Meanwhile, the Crystal Lake S-Mart has been having some problems with its staff, particularly how unenthusiastic its workers are. Now, normally, these teenagers would just get, fired for being a bunch of annoying twats obsessed with sex and drugs, but the good news is that S-Mart Corporate is sending someone in to help encourage them, and that man is Ashley Williams. Ash has also come to finally put the Deadites to rest. He has learned the location of the Necronomicon is in the basement of the old Voorhees house, as seen in Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. Unfortunately, he has some new problems. It seems Freddy Krueger has also discovered the secrets of the Necronomicon Ex Mortis and seeks to use it not only to restore himself to the Viking world, but to bring living nightmares to the whole world. As such, he convinces Jason to go out and retrieve it for him, slaughtering citizens along the way. Ash does his usual best against Jason in the first encounter, putting a few holes in him with a shotgun, but unfortunately, Jason is too much and the book is taken. As Freddy becomes more and more powerful, Ash rallies the stupid teenagers to put an end to Freddy, Jason, and the Deadites once and for all. This comic is glorious, my children, and it is a complete and utter shame that it was never made into an actual film. The slasher fans get their body count in spades. Freddy pulls a few new tricks with his nightmares, even getting the jump roping girls who usually sing his song to get in on the action. There's even a scene where Freddy summons all of Jason's past victims to attack the good Mr. Voorhees. Ash is his usual badass self, even getting an upgraded chainsaw that can cut through steel.
Groovy.
While the script was never made into a movie, there was a comic sequel to it, Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, the Nightmare Warriors, which also reunited all of the survivors of the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street movies alongside Ash to fight Freddy as he once again sets his sights on world domination. But that is a story for another time. And what better story to end the Halloween season on, my children? Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash has the right mixture of humor, horror, and hellish delights to please everyone. It is good old-fashioned fun, and in the end, that is what Halloween is all about. The Longbox closes tonight, my children, but don't you worry, we'll be back again. Until then, I am your host, Moarte, reminding you that sequential scares should not be forgotten.